Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're all doing well, and I'm back here talking to you guys after another Norwich win. It's just been absolutely remarkable. Have a look at the league table there. Norwich are up to 90 points, still with 5 games to go. Norwich City could finish with 105 points. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And after an incredible 7-0 win against Huddersfield, where we were outstanding as one of the best Norwich displays I've seen ever in my lifetime, how did Norwich City follow it up? They followed it up with a very poor display. If the Norwich Huddersfield win was a 10 out of 10, this was a 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10 performance. Norwich were not great, but it doesn't matter. Derby didn't have enough quality, and Norwich managed to hang on to the win. Although the one moment of quality, wow, in the game. Kieran Dowell with a sensational strike. Kieran Dowell turning into prime David Beckham. It was absolutely outstanding. Norwich not at their best, but it doesn't matter. Norwich win the game 1-0, and a huge victory in terms of another step closer to winning the title, because it's not if when Norwich get promoted, it's when they get promoted. Norwich don't get promoted today, with Brentford and Swansea winning, but move a step closer to that becoming a reality very soon. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section on this game, as Norwich City get to 90 points in the Championship after a 1-0 win and an outrageous strike by Kieran Dowell. And you see by the title here, Bend It Like Dowell. It was an absolutely brilliant free kick. In terms of going into this game, it was an unchanged lineup to that team, which absolutely demolished Huddersfield. And Derby coming into the game, I mean, I think they'd only won 1 game in 8, and Wayne Rooney was, Wayne Rooney was in quite a bad run for Derby, and they're not particularly playing very well. Derby have got quite a few injuries, but Norwich, really in a good position to win this game. And starting the game, Norwich played with a lot of energy, a lot of intensity. It was really nice to see Todd Cantwell in some of the positions he was picking up in the first half. He was practically everywhere on the pitch. And Norwich continued playing their style of play, having lots of the ball, building from the back with Andrew Omobamidele having lots of touches. You notice I've got his name right now, finally. And Grant Hanley, building from the back and trying to create some chances. And this was a game which lacked quality, but the one moment of quality came in around the 20th minute. Kieran Dowell starts the whole move. Derby playing out from the back. Kieran Dowell robs the ball, runs towards the goal, and he's taken down. And it's a free kick right on the edge of the box. Now, these free kicks are very hard to score. When you got a free kick which is 25 yards out, that's an ideal position because you've got enough time to get it over the wall and then under. Kieran Dowell's free kick, it's right next to the 18-yard box, and it's a tough one. And normally you see a lot of free kicks that in that situation, the free kick taker just kind of smashes it towards the keeper side and hopes for the best. This strike, oh my god, absolutely outrageous stuff from Kieran Dowell. 20 yards out, over the wall, and it just dips sensationally into that top corner. You could not have a better free kick. You'll not see a better free kick in a long time. Just brilliant from Kieran Dowell. Lovely strike. He hits it. It's almost like a computer game strike. He hits it with so much pace, which goes, and so much pace, so much accuracy. It was absolutely brilliant. A brilliant free kick from Kieran Dowell. As I said, power, pace, accuracy. It was a beautiful strike. And Norwich continued to make some half chances in the half. Timo Pukki didn't really have any sights at goal. His best chance came from a header, and we know Pukki and heading don't really go hand in hand. So that didn't go in the back of the net. And Buendia down the right-hand side cuts it to Cantwell 20 yards out, whose shot is saved by David Marshall. Norwich had lots of the ball when they were quite comfortable in that first half. It was a good first half display for Norwich, to be honest. The second half, not so much. Derby had a counter-attack. Buendia loses the ball, and it falls to Patrick Roberts 20 yards out. He looks like he's going to unleash a strike, which looks goal-bound, but a brilliant block from Grant Hanley denies it. And that was the first half. Norwich, being the better side, and probably deserved to go 1-0 up for a cracking strike from Kieran Dowell. The second half, on the other hand, was a completely different story. It's one of the worst second half displays I've seen by Norwich in probably since Swansea. It's been several months since I've been a bad display, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes, listening to Daniel Farke's interview after the Huddersfield game, sometimes it doesn't matter whether you win 7-0 or get that 1-0 dirty win. As long as you get the 3 points, that's all that matters. And that's what happened today. Norwich were careless in the second half, gave the ball away so many times. Kenny McLean and Skip, who were sensational in the first half, were giving the ball away from fun. Norwich weren't building out from the back. Derby pressed us 10 yards higher up the field and gave us some real problems. Derby had a really good opportunity early on in the second half with a long ball over the top. Grant Hanley loses his man, Kazim Richards, and then recovers quite well, manages to put him off, and Tim Krul makes a good save at quite an acute angle to deny him. But no, Norwich were really struggling for opportunities. Buendia must have gone down about 3 or 4 times. He was really struggling, and on the hour mark, Buendia had to come off. Maybe it's an injury, we don't know, but yeah, it was really, really poor from Norwich. And the main issue was they just couldn't keep the ball. Derby were pressing us with more intensity. And despite a lot of injuries Derby had, they probably deserved a goal in that second half. Norwich made a few changes on the hour mark. Kieran Dowell coming off and Buendia coming off for Poeta and Stiepermann. Not the best substitutions. Poeta's obviously a big money signing. Hasn't really worked out for him this season. And Stiepermann's an interesting one because in this game, Norwich City needed someone like Mario Rancic to control possession, calm everything down. But, you know, Stiepermann offers you good qualities. He's, you know, a good player. He's strong. He's stronger physically. He's probably got more power and better dribbling than Mario Rancic maybe, and more pace. But in that situation, we needed a calm head on the field like Rancic who can get us playing football again, not Stiepermann. And yeah, we struggled a little bit. Interestingly, on Mario Rancic as well, he was obviously Kieran Dowell, who's brilliant today, and Stiepermann have had long-term injuries this season. So it's meant Rancic has had to go into that number 10 role, which isn't his best position. Now, Mario Rancic, who was a regular in that role, hasn't played since the beginning of Brentford. You know, he was regularly in the first 11. And then just doesn't play. He's put on the sub bench and he hasn't been on the pitch since. So that leads me to think with Mario Rancic coming towards the end of his contract, it is probably the end for him. But yeah, Norwich in the last 30 minutes with Buendia off, Dowell off, Cantwell tiring, Skip and McLean not having as much control over their passes. They're a lot poorer. And they struggled to create any chances. Couple of opportunities with Pajeta on the right, but he was quite wasteful. Cantwell was wasteful too. And Derby were getting forward in some really nice areas, started to overload the box, and we really had to rely on some really good defending from our centre-backs. Brilliant from Omar Bamidele, but particularly Grant Hanley was absolutely excellent. Some really good blocks by him. And the final chance of the game, Derby had, you know, lots of half strikes at goal, some long efforts, but didn't really threaten Tim Krul until the 93rd minute of the game. Norwich have possession. It comes back to Tim Krul, who's in Norwich's right back position, and it's silly from Tim Krul. Takes too much time on the ball. Kazim Richards intercepts Krul. He's running in on goal. He lays it back to Shinnie, who's 20 yards out. Grant Hanley's run to the goal line to try and put him off. Shinnie 20 yards out, and he blasts it over the bar. Really poor from him. It's one of those efforts where Shinnie just needed to take a touch and then drill it towards goal, but he's off balance. He hits it over the bar, and that's the end of the game. And Norwich win the game 1-0. Not quite as fantastic as the Huddersfield game, but sometimes it doesn't matter. If this was a game against a Premier League side, Norwich would have conceded. Even if it was a better Championship side, they probably would have conceded. It was poor for Norwich, but it doesn't matter. Norwich City still showed grit. They still showed good determination defensively. Grant Hanley, for me, was the man of the match, no doubt. And yeah, really good defending in the end by Norwich, although it was not a good display. But it doesn't matter. Norwich are on 90 points, and yeah, absolutely. The thing that matters is quality. And despite Derby having lots of half chances, they never really had a big chance. And the one moment of quality, Kieran Dowell, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Kieran Dowell summoning David Beckham, and it was a beautiful strike. So Norwich beat Derby 1-0, and Norwich are on 90 points, and it's just absolutely remarkable how well they're doing this season. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Subscribe to Norwich City Central if you're new. Bend it like Dowell, and I'll see you later.